Cedra Mayfield, and this is LegalSpeak, where we break down what's happening in the legal industry. We are recording live at the Women Influence and Power in Law Conference taking place in D.C., and joining us now is a powerhouse who goes by the name of Lazette Jackson. She is ALM's Vice President of Professional Education and Practical Insights Publications, where she specializes in digital information, AI-integrated product development, and professional education strategy. Lazette, welcome to LegalSpeak.
I am happy to be here. Thank you.
Fun fact for our listeners who do not know this, but Lazette is also a head honcho. And when I say that, she is my boss's boss, okay? Charles Garner is our executive producer here at LegalSpeak, and she tells him what to do. Charles, what's it like having your boss on the show?
This is a dream come true. I've always wanted to have Lazette Jackson on this show. Lazette is a very entertaining person. And actually, he's a huge fan of the show. She actually really is. She watches the show. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is the time now. We're going to grill her. We're going to make her sweat. We're going to find out all the information. All the dirt's going to come out. This is going to be wonderful.
You sound a little excited about this.
Yeah, this is the highlight of the entire conference.
Lazette, how's it feel to have the tables turned a little bit?
The tables turned. So I'll pause for a second and say, Charles with LegalSpeak, he does a great job. I watched the show grow when he came up with the concept and everything, and he's just put his all into it. So I'm very proud of him for that, and I wanted to say that. Hopefully that means that he'll take it easy on the questions. But the table's turning. Absolutely not. The table's turning on me. That's totally fine. I think I can handle it.
Do you have any questions you want to ask?
No, not really. That was just all hyperbole.
All fluff. All right. Well, no worries.
I don't know. I'll chime in if
something joins in. Okay, cool.
Yeah, sure.
So we are here at WIPL. This is not your first WIPL by any means. What do you think of this year's conference?
This year's conference, so I did not have the opportunity to attend sessions, unfortunately. I went to Gina Davis's session. That's the only one so far, and then also my panel. But the topics itself, Amy Williams, the programmer, takes it up a notch every year with different types of topics that's relevant to the legal industry, and then just taking a spin on it so it's not repetitive each year. The buzz is everyone is happy. They're coming to the desk, giving compliments and giving us recommendations for next year, so I'm happy.
Now, you very much wear multiple hats all the time. You've been juggling quite a few tasks at this year's conference, including helping out our keynote, Gina Davis. I understand you got a chance to interact with her one-on-one. What was that like?
Yes, I was her handler. I hate that term. I don't like that. I think we need to come up with a better term. But the job that was required is I needed to meet with her, take her to her green room, get her to the keynote, wait for her, and just listen to what she needed and just kind of feel her out. Okay, do you want to talk about personal things? Do you want me to get you ready for the show? What would you like to do? But her energy was so positive. As soon as she got off the elevator, both her and I have on orange today. So she's like, "You're Lazette. We both have on orange, twins." So that was really nice. And from there, it was just, she's very energetic, just polite, personable, and allowed me to tell her my favorite movie of hers, which is Long Kiss Goodnight, Female Assassin. So I love that. And once I told her I love Long Kiss Goodnight, she just said, "Yes, I kicked ass in that movie." And I said, "You sure did."
Okay.
I watched it a few times, you and Samuel.
Nice. Was there anything from her address that stood out or resonated with you?
Well, she's multi-talented. I like seeing individuals, and in this case, Gina Davis, I like seeing that she did things outside of her acting career. So when she held up the picture of her book and she illustrated her own book, I found that really fascinating. And in terms of things that she said, it was a couple of things that were a takeaway. I'm actually going to stick to the stories because I can't remember the quotes. Usually I write down quotes. I'm a note taker. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that stood out when she was telling stories about being in the industry and not speaking up and being very polite. So, saying that has its pros and cons, and it's a time when you don't have to worry about being polite. You need to make sure that you take care of yourself and make sure you're not in danger. So that really stuck with me.
Now, your conference duties did not stop at handling. You also were a panelist. You took part in a conference day 2 panel entitled Lead Your Life Like a CEO, Turning Personal Goals into Reality with Strategic Planning and Intentionality. So first and foremost, give us the highlights of that panel discussion.
The highlights of that panel discussion. I will say so. 4 panelists, and we all gave our own perspective on what leading your life like a CEO looks like. So we had infamous Lakeisha, and we had Saren, and we had 2 Vanessas. One was a moderator from ALM, and then we had another Vanessa. And all of them gave their perspective on what leadership looked like and strategy. And I think when we look at the takeaways, because I know we're doing takeaways for the program, when we look at the takeaways, you'll see how leadership can look different from depending on what lens you're looking at.
So I kind of want to touch on that because you're no stranger to success. I think you're sometimes very humble, but you're no stranger to success. And as someone who's demonstrated a track record of scaling professionally, what's been your own approach strategically to also growing in your personal life? Because I understand like you do have a passion for fitness and you found a way to really succeed at that too.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll take a step back with fitness. So I'll just say fitness began at ALM specifically when I would go to the gym during my lunch break. And then I just had different people saying, Lazette, you have your gym bag. You go into the gym and you're getting dressed in that time. I said, yep, go to the gym. I do my workout, take my 5-minute shower, come back, hop on a meeting. So if you want to join me, you have to, blend into the routine so we can't spend time talking. That then led to, all right, how do you do this and how do you do a deadlift? And if I extend my shoulder this way, what will happen? So based on all the questions that I was getting, I said, you know what, let me get licensed because I'm not going to give somebody incorrect advice. And I want to understand the foundation of fitness. And that's the same way that I approach my career and anything that ALM has given me as a task to do. Okay, let me understand the foundation of it inside and out so I can then come up with a strategy to help meet the goal that we're trying to accomplish.
Have you always been that organized and strategic?
I believe so because I've had individuals ask me if I have a military background. And the answer is no. I do not have a military background, but I do have this level of discipline that I believe has come from my dad. So I'll give him credit with that.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, because let me just pull back the curtain a little bit, guys. We went out to dinner last night, and this was like, you were the only person I feel like who was like, okay, I'm not going to eat that. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to, not I, said the Cedra, not I. What about you, Charles? Did you eat healthily last night?
Yeah, I did, but actually, you're leading me into a question that I actually want to ask.
Take the floor.
All right. So for anyone who knows Lazette like I do, food and eating, that's like a big thing.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I want to know, Lazette, we had a lot of food here at the conference. Mm-hmm. I have an idea what something is. It could either be something in the conference or even, see, because the thing is every once in a while, if Lazette does not like the food, she goes, the heck with this. Then she goes out and then she orders lunch from someplace else. So Absolutely. What was the best food that you had here at WIPL?
Okay, well, thanks to Conference Director Amy Williams for pointing me in the direction of Nando's. Is it Nando's?
Yeah, I think so.
I forgot which kind of chicken. It's a special cuisine. Peri chicken.
Yeah.
Yes. So after the event last night, I went to get me some chicken skewers with grilled corn and Brussels sprouts. I just have to say the whole meal because she's saying I'm healthy, so this is what I had at night. Tore it up. I'm going back today. The food was good.
So if anybody knows anything about conferences, there are snacks throughout. Did you snack on anything?
I love Kind bars.
Okay.
And, Ritz crackers. I'm not always healthy. All right, so my mom cooked very good soul food. I balance myself with eating healthy and also eating what I want. So I don't want everyone to think, oh my God, Lazette, I have to hide from her if I'm at the cocktail reception. No, I might have a drink, but I'm just mindful of what do I want to eat today, and that'll help me make my decisions, and what do I have planned for tomorrow. So if I'm planning to do a workout early in the morning, I may not have a drink, or I might have one drink. So yeah, I do have fun.
I think the point is you're disciplined, and it all kind of goes back to this whole, you're strategic, right? And
Yes.
It's literally not just in your professional life, it's in your personal life too, which draws me back to the panel. So what advice might you give to someone else who's like, okay, I've got this personal goal, and maybe they're a heavy hitter when it comes to their profession, and they can plan things out and execute when it's professional, but then when it comes to this personal goal, for whatever reason, they just feel like they're overwhelmed, or they just don't know how or where to start. What advice do you give those folks?
Well, in order to achieve a professional goal, you do need to have the proper resources and a strategy in terms of how you're going to accomplish it. It's identical in personal. So when I'm going to use a work example and tie it into something fitness. When I'm working on an AI integrated strategy right now, and I rely on my product manager for the architectural technical pieces. I rely on my coordinator to make sure she gives me the administrative components. And I rely on other areas of the IT division to help me with this project, while I'm looking at the strategy and all the pieces, how they need to connect for the user experience. So all of that, it requires resources. So it's the same thing. In my personal life, what do I want to accomplish? If it's something fitness related, for example, okay, what resources will you need to use in order to accomplish that? Are you disciplined enough to do it on your own? Do you need to hire a trainer? Do you have the foods that are appropriate for what you specifically want to achieve? So resources are pretty important, and if you look at how you obtain things in your professional life, you already have the skill set to apply to your personal.
I like that. Was there anything in particular on the panel or in the panel discussion that stood out to you? Like anything that resonated that someone else said, or anything that was like a really good reminder for you? Like, okay, yep, I needed that reminder myself.
Yes, it was repeating things that I needed to hear. The thing that's popping up in my head right now is one of the things my co-panelist Saren said, which is slow down, focus. And I really like that, because in order for you to create a strategy, you can't do it when you're running around like here, there, and everywhere. You do need to slow down, you do need to focus, and that helps you figure out what you need to do and a little bit of how you're going to accomplish it. So that really stood out to me because it applies in multiple areas.
Now you're a leader for real. So leave our listeners with some final thoughts on how they can genuinely go forward in their lives and really conquer the goals that they set out to do. Because you literally are living proof of it. You're inspirational in more ways than one, like not just fangirling, but I am. So seriously, leave our listeners with some sort of motivation, if you will.
So in my personal training life, by default, I happen to train executive women in fitness.
Okay.
And it helps because I'm an executive myself, so I can tap into that mindset and say, okay, you want to take this approach for this one. This one is in IT leadership, so you can throw out a technical term to push that person or make it resonate in terms of what you're trying to do to connect them to the movement, mindset, different things like that. I would say in everything you do, you can't operate off of depletion. So make sure that you are refueling yourself and taking time for rest and recovery to allow yourself to be able to accomplish the things that you set out to do. You can't do it, and as business leaders, we have so many things on our plate, trying to do so many things. I'm guilty of that as well. And I have to slow myself down and say, okay, I want to accomplish this goal. I need to make sure that I'm staying on task. How can I do that? So that's the one thing I'll leave you with.
I love that. Any final thoughts, Charles?
I did see Charles at the gym this morning.
Hey,
I'm always at the gym.
Why not? Good job for you guys.
Charles and Don Chaplin, I have to give him a shout out, my gym buddy.
Actually, all right, I got one question for the both of you.
Okay, let's go.
It's actually something you and I have been talking about, but we have yet to bring up yet. Let's talk about the fit. So,
yes.
So both of you ladies are always impeccably dressed. Mm-hmm. Now, but this conference, I mean, obviously it's all women, but yeah, everyone's dressed fantastic. From everybody you've seen, what's the outfit that has stood out from all the women that you've seen at the conference?
Oh, I mean, Lazette takes the cake. So you guys can't see what Lazette has had on, but we're on day 2 of the conference. Day 1, we had hot pink. Catch your eye the minute you see her. And today we've got this nice, coral-ish orange, and it's very eye-popping, but not offensively so. And so it's one of those things where you're like, oh, you're giving me pumpkin spice meets nice. Yeah, Lizette's killing it. I came very modest this time around, but if I didn't learn anything else at this conference this year, I'm going to be a lot bigger and bolder next year, so be prepared, Nashville.
Uh-oh.
What about you, Lizette? What stands out?
Well, I want to say I admire your fashion as well. Cedra has on a lot of accessories that I would wear, and she has it color coordinated with her outfit, so I love that. If there's another individual that stood out at the conference for fashion, I'll just say this. At a women's conference, and specifically at WIPL, one of the things I hear a lot is I feel good and comfortable dressing and being myself. So I would not wear this outfit to a group with men, a conference with men. So I think WIPL allows you to be yourself, pick out some bold colors, do your thing. So there's a lot of divas around here with some nice outfits on.
Nice.
And shoes. And shoes, too.
And shoes, yes.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Legal Speak. Lazette, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Signing out from the Women Influence and Power in Law Conference taking place in D.C. I'm Cedra Mayfield. This is Legal Speak.